Welcome all my dear students. I am Vidhushan Naik, the physics teacher. This is lecture 3 on units and dimensions. We are going to start. In the lecture 2 we have studied about what is unit, what are systems of units, all those things, and 7 fundamental units under SI system of unit. And in this lecture we will study about those 2 supplementary units that are also used in SI system. Apart from that, we will study how to find out the derived units from fundamental units under SI system and convert values from one unit system of unit to another. Those things we will study in today's lecture. Just before starting, I must say one thing to all of you. Please do subscribe to this channel, like it, and of course share it to others so that knowledge is propagated from one person to other, which is especially important during this period of lockdown. So let's get started. We'll first discuss about 2 supplementary units that are radian, which is used for measuring plane or 2D angle, and steradian, which is used for solid angle or 3D angle. Radian symbol being RAD and steradian symbol being SR. These 2 supplementary units will study. You know, for measuring plane angle, there are of course another unit, that is degree, which is also used for measuring plane angle, but that is not coming under SI system of units. This radian is a SI unit. So what is this radian? First we must know. You know, if this is a circle and this O being center, suppose this is the length dl, elemental length dl, and this radius being r, then suppose this angle is d theta. That means d theta is the angle subtended by this length of an arc equal to dl. Then we know that d theta equal to dl upon r. This relation we know. Theta is equal to L by r. Length of arc, and this is radius. So we can define one radian. So d theta becomes 1 when dl equal to r. This becomes 1 when dl is equal to r. Isn't it? You see, d theta becomes 1 when dl equal to r. That means we can define it like this. Radian is the angle subtended at the center of circle by a length of an arc equal to radius of circle. So when length of arc becomes equal to radius of circle, the angle subtended at the center is 1 radian. This is the definition of radian, symbolic radian. So total angle, if you calculate total angle subtended at the center of circle, total angle subtended at the center of circle, what will be the value? We will calculate this. That will be, we know total circumference is how much? That is 2 pi into radius divided by a radius, that becomes 2 pi. So total plane angle subtended at the center of circle becomes 2 pi radian. You know, 2 pi is equal to 360 degree. Similarly, steradian is used for measuring solid angle and its symbol being SR. You know, this is suppose a sphere. Sphere can't be represented on a plane, it should be imagined. So suppose this is the center, this is an area element, suppose DA, this is the conical angle subtended at the center of sphere. So if it is solid angle is usually denoted by d omega is equal to dA upon r square. D omega is the small solid angle subtended by an area element equal to dA, r being the radius of sphere. Sphere can only be imagined on a plane. It is a 3D concept. So steradian can be defined as a 3D angle or solid angle, 3D or solid angle subtended at the center of sphere, subtended at the center of sphere by an area element equal to r square, where r is radius of sphere. This is the exact definition. Always be ready with pen and paper while making notes. So this is how this definition comes up. You know, d omega equal to dA upon r square. So when dA is equal to r square, d omega becomes 1 steradian, is not it? So you see, d omega becomes 1 when dA is equal to r square, where r is the radius of sphere. So total solid or 3D angle, total solid angle subtended at the center of sphere equal to total surface area of sphere is now 4 pi r square divided by r square. That becomes 4 pi. So total solid angle subtended at the center of sphere is equal to 4 pi radian. Total plane angle subtended at the center of circle is 2 pi radian. Now we will discuss, and obviously these two quantities are such quantities, physical quantities with units but no dimensions. Why? We will discuss that while covering the dimensions. We'll be coming to it just after this lecture. And now we'll discuss about how derived units are obtained from fundamental units under SI system. Suppose velocity. You know, velocity is displacement upon time. Displacement upon time. You know that displacement is always measured in terms of length, and time is fundamental quantity. So these two are fundamental quantities because mass, length, time, current, those are fundamental quantities under SI system. In this case, length and time are fundamental quantities, from which the velocity is another physical quantity, that is a derived quantity, is obtained, that is length upon time. So if you want to find out its unit under SI system, what will be its units? The SI system in the SI system, the length unit is meter, and SI system in SI system the unit of time is second. So unit of velocity in SI system becomes meter per second, but it can be centimeter per second, it can be kilometer per hour, and even in English system of units it can be miles per hour. But insofar as the SI system is concerned, the unit of velocity is meter per second. Similarly, speed is also speed, distance upon time. Speed is distance upon time. Distance is measured in terms of length, time is measured in terms of second, so speed becomes meter per second in SI system. Other physical quantities, many more physical quantities are there. Suppose acceleration. Acceleration is defined as, it is a derived quantity which is defined as rate of change of velocity. So rate of change of velocity. That is change of velocity divided by time. Change of velocity divided by time. We know that unit of velocity is same as unit of change of velocity. Suppose 50 meter per second is changed to 60 meter per second. That means change is how much? 10 meter per second. So again unit remains same. Unit is not changed. So that is change. We just found out the unit of velocity under SI system being meter per second. Divided by this second, this becomes meter per second square. So SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Similarly, other units are also possible like centimeter per second square, feet per second square. But SI system of unit, in SI system, unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Similarly, force is another derived quantity. Force. We know that force is mass into acceleration. Mass into acceleration. Unit of mass in SI system is kg, and we just found out the SI unit of acceleration being meter per second square. So that becomes kg meter per second square. But in SI system there is a separate name for this unit of force, that is 1 Newton. So 1 Newton, we can say that 1 kg meter per second square. Newton, and symbolized by, it is named after the great scientist Newton. So, but it is written like this: 1 Newton. Capital N is written for this. This is you should know that SI system of unit of physical quantity, SI unit of physical quantity force is Newton. This force has another unit under CGS system, which is also known as dyne. CGS system of CGS unit of force. CGS unit of force is we know that mass into acceleration. CGS unit of mass is gram into acceleration becomes, because in CGS system length unit is centimeter, but time remains same, unit of time. So this becomes 1 gram centimeter per second square. That means this is another name for this is dyne. 1 dyne. SI system of unit, the name of the unit of the force is Newton, but in CGS system of unit it is dyne. So these are the conversion is possible. We can convert 1 Newton into 1 dyne. 1 Newton into 1 dyne. So 1 Newton, you see 1 kg into 1 meter per second square. We know that 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram into 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter second square remains same. This becomes, this is 10 to the power 3, this is 10 to the power 2. You know, 10 to the power 3 into 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 5 gram centimeter per second square is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. So you should remember that 1 Newton is equal to 10 to the power 5 dyne. This is how the conversion takes place, and another, by applying dimensional analysis also the conversion can be possible. So that's all for this lecture. Have a nice day.